Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Stormlord here, and today, as always, we're going to do something new. So yesterday we did short takes, and I really quite enjoyed that. We got the video done in 15, can't be mad at that. But this time I thought I would remove the daily filter. So what are the current top videos uh, trending at the moment? So we have 4 contenders. One of them fairly recent and fairly well known. One of them's a little bit dramatic. You'll see what I mean. And we'll finish off with a nice little ZVZ sweetener because that's what I do to maintain my sanity. Also, appreciate that I found a random image of a fantasy city and we're going to call it Bridgewatch. Perfect. Let us continue. Oh, what have I done there? Mistake. Okay, so the first one is from Swolbenji. And the reason why I picked this is because he asks the question, how to actually be a billionaire. I'm going to have some thoughts. As I have watched more and more Swolbenji, I am beginning to agree with a lot of the Albion community that he is playing with the... here's the thing. I'm going to establish this pretty clear. I am not looking at the numbers. I am not looking at the stats. I'm very much a vibes guy. Why? Because Albion's got me by a thread. And normally it can be just a little bit of a push, and then I go play something else for a while. I'm not going to try and conceal that that maybe the playstyle I bring to Albion is the casual gamer playstyle, where I come in maybe once a patch, have a bit of a look around, restart my guild, see how we go, get a feel for it, meet some new people, and then, you know, when it naturally fizzles out, we go on and we move on. So, this is Swolbenji, very controversial figure in Albion Online. I always find that with Swolbenji's videos, it's always you find some real gold, whether it's for or against him, in the comments. You know, that's the because Swolbenji, whether you love him or hate him, is an absolute master of stirring the pot and triggering certain people. Now, in the past, those certain people were being very European, whereas they weren't responding or dropping to his level. It seems like that is starting to change because a lot of people are just done with, you know, his shenanigans. Okay, I have a feeling that this would be worth watching a little bit and then looking
As
at the
a
comments
solo
afterwards.
player with, again, no card swiping, no getting help from friends, no joining guilds. Let's dive into it because I think it is definitely.
Big thing you missed is Swolbenji probably wouldn't know because he already has previous experience in Albion Online. That's the thing that gets you to 1 billion, and I think he may have deliberately omitted that bit of information. Now, to say all the other things can get you to 1 billion 100%, but you won't keep 1 billion. You can have all the friends in the world, but then they get lives. You can swipe to play up to 1 billion, but then people will take it from you. It really comes down to understanding Albion's economy, its people, its places, its culture, in order to not just have the billion, but have the entire infrastructure to replace that billion with a flick of the wrist. All right, let's keep watching.
Definitely possible. And again, this video is entirely hypothetical, but it's day 0. You just did the tutorial. You got your 3 days of free premium. You have 100,000 starting silver. And so you got to gear up because the first thing you need to do in the game is obviously fame farm and gather.
He's tweaking it. 100,000 at the beginning is a lot. Like that's multiple throw sets in the BZ. I've given people 50k when they're newbies and their mind is blown. 50 to 100k, their mind is blown. Like what? I can buy my whole set? Okay. Why are he tweaking it? Just keep an eye on him. Oh, he sold Rough Stone for 100k silver. Actually, really, genuinely, rough stone is a solid way of making money because it only drops in like 1 to 2 nodes, so it's painful to gather. Not a bad start. Can, are you prepared to wait for the 100k silver for the rough stone to sell? Okay.
So that will be fame farming and blue.
Maybe I don't know. Like, there's my caveat. I'm going to come in here with a disclaimer. Maybe rough stone just goes really fast. I'm not sure.
Blue zones, yellow zones, maybe even red or black zones if you're brave enough. But, just a basic starter set and a basic gathering set. So tier 2, tier 3, and eventually tier 4, skinning being the most money.
Sorry.
So let's say it's still day 0. You have some tier 5 basic gear. This hypothetical character went Great Axe for some reason. But he kind of followed like a way older guide. I guess the YouTube algorithm didn't bless this dude with a recent video, so he's following a really old ancient guide. But he's got his.
Okay, dude's LARPing. Oh, this. I think you heard the yawn. 32 minutes, and I've watched multiple Small Veggie videos. You get through the whole thing, and you're just like, what? What are you doing? Um, let me. Let's just move to the comments. I'm already bored. So no, let's focus what it is. So first things first, there is nothing wrong with using a YouTube guide to figure out what it is. The only thing I would tell you is just to make sure that you check that filter. Make sure that it's a current build because the weapons are being adjusted all the time. So what might have, not only that, whole skills have been just completely changed. And that's a big deal because that could be the thing that your build was relying on. So if we look at this oldie classical build, yeah, I wouldn't, this is a oldie, but you can actually take this build and switch it up. So if you take the center chest, you can move that to a, let me just get this nice and big, move that away from a DPS option and you can put on a mercenary jacket just for a bit of self-heal. And that is not a terrible option. It means that you can last against much stronger mobs than yourself. You can switch to a leather boots with a cooldown sprint, which just means everything. So you proc your whole combo with these, and then you do your cooldown sprint at the end. Scholar Cowl is fantastic. I love Scholar Cowl. That bubble with mana regen tops you up every time you're low on mana. And the axe is mana hungry. Day 0, tier 6 Reaver, question mark. Tier 5 gear. I'm assuming that he means like the whole 24 hours and you didn't stop. No, props where props due. I reckon you can get it like if you. And here we go. We come back to experience. You could do this if you already knew. 3 to 4. Yeah, sorry, I'm not reading. 3 to 5 hours in. If you don't know what you're doing, which is every new experience, newbie experience, these all of the rest of this is a bit. Just because I've trained noobs, a lot of them like you have to tell them how to bring up the map. Like they're brand new. They have no idea. They'd get lost. They'd go into the black zone. They would die. Yeah. So maybe my advice has always been get a guild, but Swole Benji's very anti-guild.
Tier 5 gear. He's tier 6.
The reason why he's anti-guild is because of his politics. He's very being anti-told what to do, despite the fact that he's got his own little cult of people that he tells what to do. So he has a problem with guilds until he's got his own little, but he has no problem with cults. So let's read some of the comments. Yeah, honestly, this comment here from Ark, you're never going to just do one thing, and people who come in here just to do one thing are missing the point of Albion. See, this is English chat. Now, I would never bash them for that. I would just say that there are other options. The reason why you pick a guild, fundamentally, is not the tax rate. It's not the content you have access to. It's not the resources and free shit you might get given at the beginning. The reason why you get into a guild is it gives you access to veteran players who just instinctually know how the game works. And so when you say, oh, I'm going to do this thing, a veteran can look at it and go, a really good veteran, someone who's very good at teaching, will tell you how to get to your objective the right way. A veteran who's just grumpy and angry will just tell you that that's a shit idea. And the problem is that English chat does get saturated with these people quite routinely. I call them the Redditors. I was an officer in a circle in 3 of the top 10 guilds, still lost money. Not worth your time. See, here's the thing. He missed a point here, Lewis. A top 10 guild is a PvP guild. You will lose money in a PvP guild. Before you even start considering this, you need to make sure you've got the economy so that you can lose your set, especially in a PvP guild, possibly 5 to 6 times a CTA. It might be a little bit. No, you would keep the 5 to 6 because sometimes it's just bad, and your shot call is going to like if you're not winning, you're losing. PvP, yeah, you will always lose money. Don't ever join a top guild to make money because most of them have ruthless logistics. They're not here to make you money. You're there to make them money. You're there to feed their content. You're there, like, never underestimate that. They are a top 10 guild. Every single one of them is a sweat lord. Every single one of them. That was his mistake. Thinking he was going to make money there. Which, considering that he got into it and became an officer, he should have been aware of. However, I have a feeling this guy might be one of the little small Benji's goblins. Skinning's great. Yeah, skinning's great because you can get the babies, and the babies are worth quite a bit because a lot of farmers want to grow mounts. Yeah, this is another thing. They put a number of hurdles on you as well. Black Zone guilds. I'm coming at this from a Red Zone guild. So Red Zone guilds have the massive benefit that we're not constantly fighting and maintaining control over territory. And so yeah, it's we can get fairly financially stable because they can't take stuff from us unless with guild inciting or something like that. Yeah, and so SDL joins a casual guild. You join a casual guild to make money, in my opinion. Because once you know how the game works, you need to be left to your own devices to actually push what you know and understand in order to make money from it. One of the best ways to make money in this game is trading, 100%. It is time consuming, but if you can watch your little niche of the market, you can make quite good money jumping around all of the cities and finding where stuff sells at a higher amount. Are there any good endings after reaching 1 billion silver? That is an underrated comment. Once you're there, what are you going to do with it? I think the reason people are reaching 1 billion silver is for illicit means. You don't need 1 billion silver. Yeah, you don't need 1 billion silver. You really do not. In the same way we don't need billionaires in real life, you really don't need 1 billion silver to have fun in Albion Online. Now, if your whole thing is hoarding and being a little loot goblin, yeah, you're going to get there pretty quick. Will it take a year? 100%. 100%. Like, the strangest thing about this video is, can you do it in a year? Yes, you can absolutely do that in a year. Previous experience accelerates that. And like, it will make sure that that can always happen. Can you play as a noob, never watching a single video, not talking to a single person? No, you will not become a billionaire. Why? Because you still don't know how to load up a map. Because you refuse to ask anybody because you're too proud to ask for help. Which I'm assuming, if they are noob and they're asking people constantly and looking for videos constantly, they don't know how to Google. Oh, that's the biggest thing. Google. By the way, if you don't like Google, you can absolutely use DeepSeek and ChatGPT. They will tell you. They will give you effective strategies um, to making money. Those both of them are very good at that. Not only that, most Google and all of the rest of them have caught up. They have AIs attached, and so they can give you strategies. The AI effectively cancels out just the boatload of this kind of here's expert level advice because it can just tell you. It can give you the baseline. You want my expert level advice? Listen closely. Pick something and stick to it. Stop fucking around, watching multiple different videos, getting about putting, $500,000 down in investment and then never doing it again because you found it boring. Figure out what you enjoy and figure out a way to make money doing it. You like the black zones? You like killing things and killing people? Then you need to get good at that. Why? Because you will win more than you will lose. Now, I've met some of the best PvPers in the game, and some days they're broke and they're begging. Why? Because their playstyle is high risk. Gatherers are a lot lower risk. However, the risk is still there because they have to go into a black zone to do it. Market economy players, there is no risk, but it takes an excruciatingly long time to get anything done. So my stance on Benji is he's great for early game. He will always be a good little starter, a good little give you a few tips in the beginning, but nothing that you can't get from ChatGPT. And there's just a whole lot of other crap around this creator that's just yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the fact he went and like set up a Discord for stream snipers. I think that was incredibly toxic. Um, well, you might want the farm plots. Oh my god. So maybe we should look at this comment more specifically. So it's it's insane that these dumb kids are so upsetty spaghetti about Albion Online and your vids that they feel the need to do that. Lol. This is the thing that he does exceptionally well. Every single one of his videos is loaded with these kind of like little jabs at the fact that he's the victim and he's being bullied and he's being attacked by everyone else. When he has consistently and persistently attacked and bullied everyone else. Why? Because he has a large audience. He doesn't like the fact that SBI isn't groveling at his feet. Why? Because he's stuck in the non-lethal zones. The truth of the matter is, if you want to get to end game, you have to pass through a red or a black gate. That's where it is. Not only that, Albion's been incredibly generous with you. You can do most of the content in the game without entering lethal content. I know, shocking. Now, incredibly generous. I think they could do with fucking fixing some shit up, but like, he's literally here for that reason. That's his whole reason at Theta. I'm just here because I love the drama. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it's upsetty spaghetti. Dude's probably got paper thin skin. You start attacking him directly, he'd probably start snapping back just as hard. 24, like, if you want to know the formula for Benji's, he is probably using AI. Give me another great YouTube idea. Bang. And then he just like talks randomly about it for 30 minutes and then puts the video up there. YouTube literally tells you to do that, by the way. There's a part in the like I've been looking at it because I've been doing these videos. Like you can literally ask YouTube's AI to give you great Albion Online ideas. That's what he's doing. Not only that, he's got a Discord of little people who ask questions all the time because they're newbies. So he just takes one of those questions and then does a video on it. Boom. And where is that? 2 days? 5.8k views. He does this every day. So, 155k subscribers. Something's working. The biggest problem, I like how I've gone the biggest of the biggest of the biggest, is that word. Actually, my question has always been, do you even want to reach a billion? Honestly, you probably have 5 to 6 other MMOs you're playing with multiple friends, multiple different games. Sorry, not just MMOs. Do you really, really want to spend that kind of time? My question to me, maybe it is to me, you as well, is do you want Albion to be the only game you ever play? And if the answer is yes, get the fuck out. Because Albion needs to be a casual game. You come in, you do a couple of dungeons with your mates, and then you go do whatever else you're doing with your life. The journey is more enjoyable than the destination. I promise you that. But I also know that a number of you watch these videos for other reasons. And I would say to you that everything is losing value. So everything they say now will not be as financially as effective when you do it. Also, he's probably doing things behind the scenes in order to make sure he gets those really good numbers so that you constantly feel like you're not reaching his level, which is another great thing to do. Like, say he says, oh, you can be a billionaire in a year, but he only gives you a strategy that takes 2 years. See how I mean? Right here. So that was Swell Benji. This one I'm not I'm not too sure about. We shall see. I think I want to move him along because he's just like screaming at one for a second. Okay. The first bit kind of caught me by surprise. He was just yelling and screaming. So this is Humperdinck. He hates Albion Online with a passion. Okay. You can see it on his face. I repeat. Let's watch.
Oh my god. He's out. He literally gets out.
Death gives us.
Oh my
Oof.
god.
Okay, buddy. Moving on. Dude's roided. Like, is he using... Oh, is it the new fire stuff? Okay. Ooh. Run away now. There's another death givers. Oh. He died, but it was a nice shadow edge. The most powerful effect of the shadow edge on the dagger's W is that you can use it to get away. You throw it at a mob up ahead of you and just use it to pull yourself forward, normally out of the range of other people's sprints, and that gives you enough time, if you've timed it well, to actually do it. And FYI, you can throw that shadow edge at hamsters, like little rabbits and other things on the ground as well, and that can pull you forward really quickly. It is a very cool skill, however, it is a skill shot, so higher ping players may struggle to get it off, or to get it to hit the thing that they're after. It's a great offensive, but it's also got a great escape potential. Now imagine that with the Bloodletter. You're never catching him. That dude's down. Interesting. So yeah, Humperdinck is a... I am going to have to do something about that noise. 1 second. No, it's alright. It's a one take. It is what it is. There's always something going wrong. Humperdinck is very much a Frost player, if I remember correctly. He hates whenever his Frost stuff gets nerfed or changed in any way, shape, or form. However, he seems to be using the new Fire stuff, which is cool. Seems to be doing primarily mists. Now, the reason why I thought this video would be funny is probably because we have to play this.
You little cheater! Oh my god, yeah, you think you're fucking cool? Holy fuck.
So where Swole Benji okay, English. So where Swole Benji feeds off like drama with the community, Humperdinck is known for just being angry all of the time. And he's the I don't know that content creator. He just gets angry all of the time. However, I am seeing a few contenders for his place. Yeah, I don't know. I've watched his stream a couple of times, and it's just he's constantly like he really wishes that he had the community he has on Albion in another game. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, this particular playstyle, 8.4 Frost. How much would that build be worth? A lot of Z monies.
Rewarded.
It's like I was saying as a PvPer, this is some days you're going to be loaded, sometimes you're going to be broke. The great thing is if you're a content creator as a PvPer, and you got great clips like this, people will come out of the woodwork and start funding you because they want to see you keep going. So that is the Humperdinck, 2.8k, 18k subscribers. He's more known on Twitch. Yeah, I like his content. I enjoy it. I'm not going to say no Swole Benji either. Like they're both essential parts of the community as much as certain people hate that. Okay, so this is apparently one of the best PvP one-shot builds in Albion at the moment as of a day ago. Let's watch. The intro was a little too long. Okay. Albion stew. Oh, that was a huge parry. Look at these rats, dude. Should not have loaded. Correct. So we switch to parry. Parry is a great skill to switch to. When they do that. So parry throws all the damage back in their faces, and that's a sword W. Parry would be very strong in the mists at the moment, just because a lot of people come in with because it's like 1v1 mostly, unless you've got like 30 little rats around you. Being able to throw their damage at a key spot, like good PvPers will have checked your build first. They would have checked that your sword has parry. However, you may have noticed at the beginning, he switched the skill. So it's possible that he let him check him, then rolled off screen a little bit, switched the skill, came back in. Because the person's expecting one skill and ends up with the other. And so he comes in very aggressive, thinking, oh, at least he doesn't have parry, because parry is a skill that unlocks at a higher level. So, yeah. Here's another one. Yep, third party. Oh, that guy's got high ping. Oh, no. Okay, using yourself healing. Well, he still nearly does it.
Now's the time to get into the Master C.
No. Well, cool. Great. So that was that video there. And yeah, buy yourself a Mazda. Let's if it's in his video, he won. 3,000 damage combo. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you could get it up there if you really wanted to. Do I know how to? Well, it helps when you're throwing 2,000 of the other person's damage back in their face with a parry. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Parry the unsung hero. Parry the unsung hero. 10 points. Plenty of people are singing about the parry, but you know, it is what it is. So, we're going to finish this up with a fun, just because it's also getting pretty late on. This is Heralds of Valhalla. The content creator is Mordred. And this is going to be some ZVZ and open world content. 3 minutes worth, so we watched the whole thing. Every thought is like a hurricane, destroying everything, but it leaves no trace. Bomb squad, big damage. Oof. No one believes me, but I'm 6 feet deep with a monster made of memories. It's alive like a parasite inside of me. Oof. Yep. Thanks for playing. Welcome to Albion Online. Imagine if this is your first ZVZ and you don't even last like 3 steps and then a bomb squad just comes and wipe you off the field and you're like, I spent a month getting this set. It wouldn't be a month, but you know, got a bit traumatic there. Ooh. Oh, precision strike. Oof. Ooh, does he time a massive hit for the beat drop? Let's watch for it. No. That would be my improvement. You've got to try and make the video match the music. And that will just like, it just takes the hype to 11. Content creator that I forgot the name of, my apologies. Beautiful. Oh, that was a good retaliate skill. They're using a great cursed, which is something, yeah, which basically what a great durst does is it purges all of those protections. You saw those bubbles around him before he went in. That purged it, and so basically meant any retaliation. Look at this. A retaliation skill that the enemy Zerg's using just throws all of that damage back. And when you're throwing possibly 10 to 20,000 damage, you're not going to survive the retaliate. Imagine getting parried, like, imagine if your Soul Joel in the ZVZ was just to sit there in a sword and just wait with your W. So right as they throw it, you just parry. Just Smack. Use EVZ comp? Radio. Let's have a look. Bomb squatting actually was what ZVZ used to be back in the day. That was it. There was no other Zerk. But I can understand it's a really cool actually addition. I do like the bomb squads. However, I know was never really a fan of like the elitist culture that came around it. Don't talk to me unless you've got. Why does it keep doing that? I think it's because I've got 4 videos up. That's why. So that is Mortred. The only advice I would say is when you put a song in the background, try to match the claps with the thing. It's all right if you take it like 3 to 4 out and feed it and fill in a bit of the front footage in first to get that build. There is allowed to be quiet moments in the video. But yeah, other than that, very cool. I thought I'd finish on a ZVZ video just because I kind of enjoy them the most. Right, yeah, it's a banger. Awesome vid. I haven't got anything funny to say. And with that, your 4 content creators have been revealed. Yeah. We'll see what I do differently tomorrow.